I'd like to call the Traffic Commission meeting of August 9th to order. Members present, Nick Rystrom, City Engineer, Frank Stringy, City Planner, Fire Chief Christopher Bright, myself, Paul Agenzio, Superintendent of Public Works. If you could join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to open the public hearing. Councilor McKenna is in the audience, so we're going to start a little bit out of order. The first item is number 3, amend Title 10, Schedule 8, parking restrictions generally by removing location, Victoria Street easterly from Winthrop Ave to Vinyl Street, no parking anytime. And B, amend Title 10, Schedule 9, resident parking sticker areas by adding Victoria Street.
Joanne McKenna, Ward 1 Councilor. We've had a big problem on Victoria Street. We have a lot of people that are in Winthrop Ave that are parking there. We also have the health center, North Suffolk Health Center there, which takes up a lot of parking with nurses, visiting nurses and doctors that come in. And these people don't have any place to park. So I was suggesting that we take the no parking off of the odd side of the street. I think it's the easterly side of the street. And we put from no parking from here to the corner, so if an apparatus has to come by and take that corner, they could. Chief Guido, when he was here, he did suggest that if that didn't happen, that we could also make that street resident parking. So it's up to the council here what they want to do, but we really need a solution. We can't, the people there, that they can't live like this. There's a lot of people that don't have driveways, and it's a very short street, and people can't park in front of their house, and they're getting ticketed. So I would really like a solution today.
Okay. So are you proposing to put no parking here to corner, make Victoria Street both sides you're able to park, but make it sticker parking?
Oh, if we could do the both of that, that would be wonderful. But like I said, we need to put no parking from here to the corner, so if there is an apparatus that goes down that street, they can make it.
Okay, any comments?
And it is a one-way, yes.
Okay. So would we need to put the no parking here to corner? The apparatus wouldn't be coming from Winthrop onto Victoria. Do you want that option? Oh, so, okay. 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 So which...
So we could do it both sides. We could do it one end and the other end, and then take the no parking off in the middle. But just so these people can have the solution to park somewhere, because they can't, they're parking out in Winthrop Ave, they're parking on Vinyl Street, they can't even park in front of their houses.
Okay.
And some of them have babies, kids, so.
So which option would you prefer, Chris?
I don't know if it's wide enough for the two-sided parking.
Okay.
I mean, we had the problem down on Thorndike, and we told the residents, we'll allow two-sided parking. However, if there's not 10 feet of roadway,
Right.
and a car can't pass through there,
Right.
and the police are called up there, we will tow the cars that are in violation, not just one of them.
Both of them.
Because we can't tell who was there first or second. All we know is there isn't 10 feet of roadway available. You know?
Okay.
I said, it's an option for a 60-day trial period, maybe. Allow two-sided parking. If not, the permanent parking.
Or do you want to keep the one-sided parking and make it sticker parking? Is that... Okay. So it's the determination of the commission here that it's not wide enough to support two-sided parking. So would you
So could we go with the second
Keep
option?
the one-sided parking and add it to the residence sticker parking.
I think that would help, something would help.
Okay?
Is
Do I
that
have a motion
agreeable to everybody?
Motion to?
Yeah, motion to amend,
Okay,
to allow
Sticker
resident
parking.
sticker parking and just the parking on the one side.
okay, a second?
As is. Second.
And what about overnight parking? Because after, I hate to say this, but after people are getting smart, that they know that, the parking, the parking meter maids, oh, they have two now? Okay. Yep. Okay, all right.
Okay.
That's a great solution. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, oh, sure.
Hi, I'm Louise Borsetti, 26 Victoria. With the sticker parking, the permit parking, if I come home from work and there's no parking because somebody has parked illegally on the street now because they don't have a permit, that doesn't really help me because they're not going to get a ticket till the parking police come by and give them one, but I still have no place to park. I think there are just a lot of people that live on the street, a lot of cars, and there's no place to put them. So
Oh, I understand that. That happens
we need
across
more
the city, but...
spaces than anything else.
Right.
And when I moved in there was parking on both sides of the street. And then one day, signs went up, and I don't recall anyone asking me what I thought. They just put up the signs. And then it was like, it's okay, we could park there, we weren't getting ticketed, and then all of a sudden, we were getting ticketed, and nobody again asked, what do you think? I just want to be able to come home from work, park in front of my house, and not think about it.
Right.
And I haven't been able to do that since the ticketing started again.
Okay. Well, I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, the members of the Commission that are Public Safety don't feel as though it's wide enough to warrant, to support double-sided parking, so the sticker parking, I guess, we'll try that, see if that works out for you, and then if it doesn't, we'll try to come up with something else, but if the street isn't wide enough to support double parkings on two sides.
Can you tell me where we're short, like how much?
Well, I think, Frank, you,
Well, each parking lane has to be 8 feet, so
Right.
there's 16 feet there. And you need a travel lane.
of 11.
It should be 11 feet.
Right.
But at 10 feet, a car can get through. And apparatus won't be able to get through on an 8-foot travel lane. So you have a 24-foot right-of-way layout, and so that's 16, that's 26 feet. So you shot 2 feet.
We're short 2 feet.
Yeah,
That's also under perfect conditions if people are somehow able to park right up to the curb and they're
Right.
using the full width, which, that doesn't happen. People are off the curb a little bit, so you lose some feet, some space there as well.
okay.
Would you allow 2 tires on the sidewalk?
No, we don't do that,
You don't do that.
unfortunately.
You did do that. I've seen it. It's been done.
Oh, people do it, but they're not supposed to, it's illegal. Yeah. Yeah, we officially removed that about 2 years ago, sidewalk parking.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Sorry. Anyone else wish to speak on the matter? Anyone opposed? So the way we left it off, we are going to keep the one-sided parking and add resident sticker parking to that street.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Moving on to number 6, amend Title 10, Schedule 9, resident parker sticking areas by adding Brad Street Ave from State Road to Sale Street, Monday through Friday, Sale Street the entire length, Monday through Friday, and Beverly Street the entire length, Monday through Friday. Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
Joanne McKenna, Ward 1 Councilor. So what was happening is people were parking on Unity Ave, and we made that 2-hour parking for the businesses. So now they're going up the street, coming down the public stairs. And I'd like to make an amendment, and I don't know if we can do this, but I'd like to make the whole Brad Street Ave permit parking all the way down. I have to get you the number, but from Summer Street to Brad Street Ave.
Well, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to do that. That has to be advertised in case
Okay.
anyone wanted to come and speak. So
All right.
we can act on this, and then at a later date, if you would like to amend it.
Amend it,
and do
okay.
the rest of it. But
I do have someone that is
Oh,
from
sure.
Sales Street that would like to speak.
positively.
Hello, everyone. I would like to see Sales
Your
Street.
name and address?
Oh, my name, Linda Casaletto,
And address.
at 82 Brad Street Ave. I live
Thank
on
you.
the corner of Brad and Sales. I would like to see resident permit parking only on Sales Street from at least Brad Street to Crest. Every single morning, we should put up a sign that says free tea parking. There are people parked there with plates from Arizona, New York. People go on 2 or 3 business trips. They're parked there. I see them because my back door gate is on Sales Street. It's ridiculous. I think we should, that would be extra parking for the Brad Street residents. I can park in front of my house, but I don't because there's so many bigger houses on my street, so but people can park in front of my house. But these people that are parking on Sales come every single day. The same commuters come every single day. I feel like they're flipping me off when I'm on my way down to the train. And it just isn't right because they're not residents.
Okay.
So if it isn't, Sales is a short street. Actually, nobody, I think, has a front door on Sales Street.
Okay.
But it seems to be a good little place to hide, and you walk right down the street to the train. And I think that a lot of people are taking advantage, especially people that don't live in the neighborhood. I don't think there is anybody who would object to this because it would increase parking for residents only. And it would only, and my take on it is from the corner of Brad and Sales to Crest. It's probably 300 feet, 400 feet. When I left here today, all the parking spaces were taken, and my car is not parked on that street.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, do I hear a motion?
Can I ask a question? So
Sure.
I understand the reasoning behind the Brad Street and the Sales Street request, but what's the reasoning behind the Beverly Street?
Beverly's down in Oak Island, I don't,
Yeah, I don't think that's not me, that's Councilor Powers.
Oh, okay,
So it's just Sales Street and Brad Street, that's where I'm asking.
okay.
want to take up A and B now, and then we'll, okay, any motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second, okay.
Second.
Okay, so voted. Chris?
So you want to accept it as it is, and then we're going to advertise it out for the next meeting to do the whole street?
Would you want to advertise and hold a public hearing next for the rest of the street?
That'd be wonderful, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank
You
you
want
very
to go all
much.
the way to
I can
Bellingham, Brad Street, all the way to
We could do that, yeah, we could do that.
Endicott, the corner of Endicott and Bellingham.
Because now everybody's moving up, so,
Okay, so we'll, the end of September, that'll come before the,
okay, thank you very much.
thank you. We want to take up Beverly Street now, the entire length, Monday through Friday.
Yes, John Powers, 46 LaPonte Street, Revere. The people on Beverly Street from time to time are inundated with traffic from people, particularly on a hot day like today, that want to go to the beach. There's no parking on the beach. They're all taken. So they wind up down in the neighborhoods there. So that's one of that is the prime reason really why I've asked for the resident parking down on Beverly Street.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Closing that side. Anyone opposed to Beverly Street being sticker parking? Closing that side. Hear any motions?
Motion to accept.
Second. Okay.
Does you want that 24/7 then, if it's beach parking rather than Monday to Friday?
According to this, it says the entire length, Monday through Friday.
But does you want to have that on weekends too?
Councilor Powers? We'd like to clarify, this says Monday through Friday. If it's a concern about beach parking, is that
I'd like to amend it to resident parking.
for 7 days a week?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Thank you.
Motion to approve is amended.
Second, okay. All in favor, all opposed? We're now going to move on to Councilor Powers. Number 7, amend Title 10, Schedule 8, parking restrictions generally by adding Beach Street, excuse me. Number 8, amend Schedule 4 of Title 10, isolated stop signs by adding A, Linehurst Road at Morris Street, a 3-way stop, and Trevally Road at Thurlow Street, a 2-way stop. Anyone wishing to speak on Linehurst and Morris? Anyone wishing to speak against it?
No, I'm here on Thurlow.
Number B is Trevally Road at Thurlow Street, a 2-way stop.
Yes, that's a very difficult area up there. You have cars that are coming off of Tree Valley, going on to Thurlow. You have cars that are coming from the bottom of Thurlow on both ends up over there. There's a hill. A lot of times people don't stop. And I think there's been some situations up there where there have been near accidents. And I've talked to the residents up there. They're all in favor of it. So I hope that this board will approve that. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We'll take them up separately. Linehurst Road at Morris Street, 3-way stop.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Second. Okay, so voted.
Second.
B, Trevally Road at Thurlow Street, add a 2-way stop.
Again, motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Approved. Okay, you're welcome. We'll go back to the regular order of business here. Number 1, Schedule 9 of Title 10, resident parking sticker areas of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere is amended by adding the following streets. Rand Street, southerly side, the entire length. Oxford Street, easterly side, the entire length. Howard Street, the northerly side, the entire length. Warren Street, both sides from Yeaman Street to South Cambridge Street. Warren Street, the southerly side from South Cambridge Street to South Furnace Street. Yeaman Street, the even side from 14 Yeaman Street to Park Avenue. Yeaman Street, the odd side from 75 Yeaman Street to Park Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this change? Hearing and seeing none. Anyone wishing to speak against it or in the negative? Hearing and seeing none. Table it. Seeing as nobody's here to speak on it, we're going to table. Move to table.
Second.
Okay, number 2.
I'm going to table this here and notify the ward councilor.
Okay.
Who submitted it.
All right.
I find that when it's good for him to come up here and
Speak on
discuss
it.
this.
Now, these, on number 2, amend Title 10, Schedule 8 to make the appropriate corrections. I don't know what corrections are proposed. Is this just cleaning up Yeaman Street because the school's not there any longer, or?
Why don't we table this here for till next meeting?
Okay.
And I said, I didn't get a chance to go up there and walk through the area, see exactly what's on there.
Okay,
And we'll pick it back up again.
Okay, motion to table?
Motion.
Number 4, amend Title 10, Schedule 8, parking restrictions generally from Everard, Sudley to Bennington Street, Belle Isle, 15-minute parking, to Everard, Sudley, Bennington Street to Belle Isle, 2-hour parking. This would be a change from 15-minute parking to 2-hour parking.
This coming from the councilor also, Councilor McKenna, Mr. Woodridge was here.
Okay.
But this was the school. 15 minutes wasn't enough time for the in and out of it. To figure 2 hours
Okay.
was more reasonable. I know we got two MI cruisers tagged down there in the 15-minute
Okay.
time zone.
Motion to approve this?
Second.
Second. Okay, so moved. Number 5, amend Title 10, Schedule 9, resident parking sticker areas by changing Atlantic Avenue from all day to 7 a.m. to, I assume that's noon time.
Again, we instituted the parking down there not too long ago, and the residents contacted the ward councilor and stated that the time changes was, the time we used was too much.
Okay?
So they recommend, if asked if we could change it back to noon time rather than all day.
Okay. Motion to approve? Okay, second. Okay, so voted. Seven. Okay, hold on. Number 7, amend Title 10, Schedule 8, parking restrictions generally by adding Beach Street at 79 Beach Street, 2-hour parking.
That's a request from the business owner down there. I guess they're parking their cars, jumping on the bus to Beachmont. Someone
Okay.
found out that the bus to Beachmont goes by there, it costs them $1.50 to up on the bus, and they're saving the parking money.
Okay, this is the business right at the end of Hyde Street here? Oh, okay. Motion to approve? Second? Okay. So ordered. Okay, number 9, public hearing to increase the fees at parking meters from 50 cents to $1. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this change?
Excuse me, this is also for the time change also.
Okay, and also a proposed time change for parking meter enforcement from, what? Till 8 o'clock at night. And it usually is 5,
I thought it was 7.
Actually, 7 p.m. at night,
7 p.m.
yes.
Okay, wish to speak in favor?
Okay.
Name and
my-
address?
My name is Jim Rose, the parking director of City of Revere, 300 Broadway. I'd like to start and give you some reasons why we're actually looking for this meter increase. As you know, the meter program is largely non-functional. In the City of Revere, over 50% of the meters are down. They cannot be repaired. We're significantly undercharging for parking relative to other cities and communities that are surrounding, our city. We're losing an estimated probably $200,000 a year in revenue presently. And the last is quite simple. If you look around the city, you look around Shirley Ave area, to look at these meters, it's just, it's not acceptable. It really reflects poorly on the city and our government. So I'd like to move on now and basically say the meter increase request is from 50 cents per hour to $1 an hour. We'd also like to ask that once we move forward with the new smart meters, which will have credit card capabilities, that the minimum credit card charge of $1 would cover the costs associated with processing the transaction. Now, we're still with these meters, we'll be able to put in a quarter for 15 minutes. So if somebody was stopping for 30 minutes, it would only cost them 50 cents. The last time the city had approved any type of a meter increase was well over 16 years ago. Also, as far as extending the hours, if you look at other communities, most of them are at least 8 in the morning to 7 p.m., most of the surrounding communities. This is all going to help us with purchasing the new IPS smart meter, which we're in the process now, and that meter, those meters are going to estimated cost us probably in the vicinity of $200,000. We're projecting that with the new meter and the new meter increase, we'll be able to generate revenue of anywhere between $300,000 and $400,000 per year. I think at this time it's a very minimal increase, and I'm strongly urging the commission to please consider it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wish to speak in favor? Hearing, seeing none. Anyone wish to speak in the negative? Hearing and seeing none. What's the will of the, any comment?
I think this is well overdue, and we need the additional revenue. It's a good amendment, a good proposal. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay,
Second.
second. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered. All set.
Thank you, and I want to apologize for missing last month's meeting because my mother-in-law was very ill at the time, and in the future, most of the meetings I will be here in the future.
Okay. Also, Richard Viscay, the city auditor, submitted a letter in favor of this proposal, and we'd like to make that part of the record.
Okay, I want to thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice evening.
Number 10, request from the Commission on Disabilities to install an HP sign at 146 Constitution Avenue and remove the HP signs at 565 Mountain, 39 Pitcairn, and 29 Rumney Road.
The Commission on Disabilities is in favor of 146 Constitution Ave as long as the Revere Housing is fine with it. And I believe that 39 Pitcairn and 29 Rumney have already been removed. And I'm not sure on 565.
Okay.
And I received one late communication from Councilor Novoselsky. If we could remove 137 Kimball Ave, the resident's no longer there.
Okay.
And if you want, I'll put that into the 311 system to come to you. Hopefully that's working out okay the way that I'm doing that.
It has been, because I've been following that. Okay, so motion to approve these?
Second.
Second, so ordered. Okay, we'd like to move on to requests. Julie DeMauro of Revere on the Move requests that the Traffic Commission hold a public hearing to add bike boxes at the following intersections: Broadway and Beach, Broadway and Yeaman, Broadway and Park, and Broadway and Central. We'll move that to our next scheduled meeting for public hearing. And Councilor Keefe requests that the Traffic Commission install a parking meter at 122 Broadway. We'll move that to our next meeting as a public hearing. And number 3, the mayor requests that the Traffic Commission look into installing handicap parking at the stadium on Park Avenue.
Now, we looked at this, Mr. Chairman, and the only way to accomplish this is to cut out 3 feet of the sidewalk and create a parking lane, an 8-foot parking lane on that side, on the stadium side of Park Avenue. The problem that exists right now is that we have telephone poles that are there. We can either go ahead, we have 100 feet in between each telephone pole, which we could get 5 parking spaces in between a telephone pole and make those handicap spaces, or we can wait for all the poles to be relocated to the other side of the street and try to go in and do it comprehensively from the school all the way up to the stadium and create one lane for parking.
Okay.
With
And it would-
designated handicap parking spaces, maybe 3 or 4 handicap parking spaces.
And the rest would be public parking.
The rest would be public parking for the school and for the stadium.
Okay.
But I don't know what the scheduling is for the relocation of those telephone poles. They have been relocated, but the old ones still exist, and the wires have to be transferred it's a problem that Verizon and National Grid have to coordinate. And I believe the funding has been set aside for this purpose
Okay.
through the school. Additional funding has been added. So it's just a matter of waiting. But if as a more immediate concern is for the stadium to get handicap parking there, we could do something in between the telephone poles and do an eyebrow, cut it out 3
Right.
feet.
Okay, so we'll...
That's the solution. Short
So
term.
we'll act in favor of this, and we'll determine whether we just do the eyebrow between the poles, or if
Yes.
National Grid acts quickly enough, we can do the whole project.
Yeah, I mean, short term, if funding is available
Okay.
through our existing sidewalk reconstruction program, we could probably do the cutout, try to get something done.
Okay,
But that has to be coordinated with, between John Squibb and the mayor's office
okay.
with the existing sidewalk contract.
Okay, so a motion to approve this, and we'll move forward with that piece of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Second, okay. That's what we'll do then. Counselor Novoselsky added in a late communication here. He'd like us to consider making Francis Street westerly side no parking from Franklin to Hopkins Street. Maybe we can move this to the last meeting in September, or our next meeting in September, and hold a public hearing on it. I don't know if has he submitted it to you?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, can you just repeat what that last request, what it was?
Sure. Francis Street, the westerly side, it's currently two-sided parking, so Francis Street, the westerly side, no parking from Franklin to Hopkins. It's a very busy street, very thin, parking on both sides make it difficult for vehicles to pass at the same time, and during the winter, a fire engine will have difficulty getting by.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that ends the regular order of business.
I just bring up the Harmon Park situation. Additional parking.
Open up the discussion to Harmon Park, additional parking.
Yeah. So, short term, you had about 10 parking spaces along North Marshall Street that have been marked off for Harmon Park.
Yes.
And signage is going up, parking.
Directing them
available.
around the corner to North Marshall Street to park, yes.
And more long-term, with the rail trail, there's a large tract of land across the street from Harmon Park where the rail trail continues on to Saugus. For long-term permanent parking for Harmon Park. We could work with the Bike to the Sea group currently in the state, which currently has a contract to pave the trail and do improvements to the trail, to create a parking lot there. Probably park 10 to 15 vehicles there and line it for the purposes of people using the bike trail in Harmon Park. So that's a long-term approach. And when the time comes, I think approval from the support from the Traffic Commission may be required. So it's just,
Okay. We'll certainly do
just letting
that.
you be aware of it.
Okay. That closes the Traffic Commission hearing for August 9th. Our next scheduled meeting will be to be determined. Okay, thank you. Motion to adjourn, thanks.